Hello everybody, my name is Zojalyx, and right here next to me is my good friend Slade, and we are going to be running the Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. Skip that little in-game trailer because spoilers. So what I'm going to be doing here quickly, just to set up the run, is I'm loading into an already completed file, and then I am saving the game, because saving the game is going to allow us to be able to, so this game has cutscenes that's played, like from the actual movie, and so we can skip all of those cutscenes by loading into an already completed file and then saving. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Timing will start when I skip this cutscene. So 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Aragorn Easy. We're starting off playing as Isildur. Don't worry, it's not that confusing. So this first level is basically an auto-scroller. It kind of sucks, but 2, 3, that's not 3. That is definitely not 3. So I need to be building up EXP during this auto-scroller, and I'm going to be doing that. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Doing that. So, sorry, I'm trying to count. Can you just help me count when I'm in perfect mode, Slade? Yes. So what I'm doing is 7. Okay, that's 7. I'm doing this thing, I'm doing a combo called Isildur's Judgment, and that is helping me get into perfect mode. By getting into perfect mode, I'm able to get the maximum amount of EXP. That wasn't mine. And because we want about 2,000 EXP, and so we're going to be building up to that, and we get 11 perfects, and so now that we've got 11, I'm going to grab one more card. I guess that kill over. So, now that we've done that, we're just going to chill out for a bit, but that will give me some time to explain some wonderful mechanics about the game. So you've seen down in the bottom left corner, which is like up there-ish, is there's this little damage meter. And as that damage meter fills up, it will increase the amount of EXP we gain per kill. And so there are 4 types of kills that you can get throughout the run. There's fair, good, excellent, and perfect. And each one of those different types of kills determine how much EXP you get, and you build up your damage meter by doing different combos. And so by doing Isildur's Judgment, we were able to build up the maximum amount of combo. We were able to build up the maximum combo and get into perfect mode, which then we deal the maximum amount of damage and we get the maximum amount of EXP. And so now we should, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't get the 2,000 EXP, but by getting the 2,000 EXP, we were able to use that for later on in the run. Even though, yes, this level we're playing as Isildur, who isn't Aragorn, but as far as game mechanics are concerned, he is a carbon copy of Aragorn. The only difference is he does more damage, and he has more health. And this is sort of like a tutorial level that's meant to be like, hey look, here are game mechanics, but all they do is flash up in the corner and tell you how to use them. So it's really not that good of a tutorial in my opinion. Yeah. But you get 3 minutes of killing enemies, which is kind of the basic point of the game. It's a lot of enemy killing. This game is an action RPG, which are the primary games that I run. So if you would like to see a lot of action RPGs, from obscure ones like this one to more popular ones, I know I've recently been doing a lot of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix HD, then follow me on Twitch.
And you'll see me show up from time to time.
Yes, he does a lot. We do a lot of different co-op runs. So now, at the end of every level, we have this kill tally screen. Oh, we didn't get 2,000! Oof. Oh no! I've never done that before. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. So we're at Weathertop, and we have these ring wraiths that we have to kill. And we're going to be killing them by using our torch and our fierce attacks. to get ourselves into perfect mode to be able to deal the maximum amount of damage. No matter what, we will end this level with 5,000 EXP. So getting into perfect mode just takes us like 5 torch hits down to 2, and it speeds things up. Okay, so obviously now, by messing that up, I know that it's 12 perfects is the perfect number, because I was less than 100 EXP away. Alright. Dude, yes! That is so hard to do, to trap the ring wraith on that segment, so that's amazing. Okay, so I gotta think here. I can only get a Zojalyx with care. And then I'm gonna grab the backup EXP there. Okay, so we finished off Weathertop. The two abilities that I would normally buy are Isildur Swift Terror and Ranger Fury. And Isildur Swift Terror is like a more basic version of it's like a more basic version of Isildur's Judgment. And then Ranger Fury is going to be a massive ability that we are going to be using throughout the entire run. So because I didn't get my 2000 EXP, there's a little EXP pickup there that we're just going to take, and that will help us out to get to the end of the run. And so for this level, we're just going to be running straight through until the end until the boss that's at the end of this level. We're not going to be needing to get any kills, even though we are at an EXP deficit. We should be fine. If we're not fine, I'll panic and I'll adapt. We're killing that guy because he's in the way. But yeah, I mean, that's really the basis of this level. It's pretty simple. A lot of it is going to be precise running, trying to avoid enemies, because avoiding enemies, if we get hit, especially in this, the routing for how we run is a lot more precise and than you would think it would be. Just because if we get hit, this can happen, and this is not good. Okay, so thankfully we didn't get stuck too much. That archer didn't decide to shoot us, he decided to taunt, so that's pretty good RNG.
You don't have any blood.
Yes. Oh, okay. This stuff. Ah! No! Oh no. Wow, that's never happened before. So, as for every marathon run, there always has to be something that has never happened. Okay. Welcome to the first, well, yeah, a boss. Okay, so they did put Slade 425.
It's fine.
It's just that's your Discord name. So this boss, you just do it the way you would do it casually. I don't really know of any way to speed it up. If we did find a way, that would be really cool. But we're going to be cutting these tentacles and shooting the Watcher in the water as he comes out. By shooting him super quickly and doing some precise timing, we can make the fight go quicker. So, yeah, that's the end of that fight. Pretty decent level. We got kind of trolled by goblins, which normally trolls would troll, but this time goblins trolled.
Lord of Moria.
And so, I need to remember to buy that ability that I didn't get. Okay, we got Ranger Fury, and now we're fine on EXP. And so, now we are going to be doing... Okay, so about 9:55. I'm just keeping tabs in my head for certain timers for the way that this run works, because we're going to have about around 2-ish minutes of grinding here at the start of this level. Just because that's just how this level works. And we're going to be grinding by doing our Isildur Swift Terror to get into perfect mode on these goblins. That is if they cooperate and we don't get hit. Because if we get hit, our damage meter in the back left corner, not the back left, the bottom left, does drain, or it goes down and we become sad. And we don't like being sad. But when we're in perfect mode, depending on where I am in positioning to enemies, I'm either going to be using my bow or just a regular speed attack. Because when you are in perfect mode, you will automatically insta-kill these goblins. And I'm only saying that that's going to happen for these goblins because that could very easily not be the case for goblins. Just because... Or it won't be the case for other enemies, but for these goblins that is the case. So I hope you guys appreciate this long period of grinding and trying to get into perfect mode as the big struggle that it is. Especially with these shield guys, because sometimes these shield guys' shields don't like to break. And when they get caught in the door like that, you just sit there and are sad. So we're in a little bit of a monka ass here. My grinding isn't the greatest, but we have a pretty complicated troll strat coming up. And by complicated, I mean it's simple to talk about, but difficult to execute. So I'm trusting in my boy Slade to talk about it well. Wow. I keep trying for more EXP. And I actually do the strat. Okay, so we're coming up on the troll fight. I'll go ahead and let Slade take it over.
Alright, so for this troll fight, there's gonna be it's like a two-phase fight basically. For this first little bit, he's gonna be doing 8 fierce attacks in this little rhythm here that he's doing to end this first phase. So there you go, the 8 fierce attacks are done. Now he's gonna try to do the 2 quick charge shots because he is in perfect mode, which will basically, and then a quick shot, and then boom, it's over.
And the reason why I kind of pogged there and cheered because we got level 4. Not getting level 4 in that level is really rough, and it makes the next level, which is one of the hardest levels in the run, extremely difficult. No, you want that. Okay, that was cool. I almost messed up that anyway really badly. So now that we're at level 4, we're setting up ourselves to be in a really good position because we were able to buy our first bow upgrade, which will let our bow do more damage. And if we didn't have that bow upgrade, then when we were in perfect mode, our bow would not do the maximum amount of damage possible to be able to insta-kill things. But now that we've done that, but now that we are at level 4 and we have the bow upgrade, you're fine. So, this is Amon Hen, arguably the hardest level in the run. I personally think it's the hardest level. It's also my least favorite level, because I suck at it, and because of these enemies right here. These Urukai have this really annoying ability where they will swing their cleaver things over their head. And when they swing their cleavers over their head, that attack will always knock you on the ground. And getting knocked on the ground is sad. Apparently a lot of things are sad in this run, and I don't mean to make them sound sad, because this is not a sad run. But as you can see, when they're doing their ability that they knock things down, they apparently have iframes, which is... I was about to say really sad, but I don't want to keep saying things are sad, because I want more...
Annoying, then.
It can be rough. I'll say that. Kind of lacking on kills. Oh, I'm not actually explaining how this level functions and why I'm running around. So, as you can see, I've been getting kills in this run, and if you've been paying attention, you've been noticing up in the top right corner, there's a little kill tally marker for the Urukai. And when that kill count needs to be down to 0 in order for me to gain access to the boss fight. And then next to that is a little Frodo meter, because if that meter drains, then Frodo dies and you fail the level. Which that protometer is basically obsolete because we kill things. We theoretically would be able to kill things really well, that we don't have to worry about the protometer. Oh boy, I hit wrong buttons, and hitting wrong buttons is not. So, as you can see, I'm using that Isildur Swift Terror ability a lot, because getting into perfect mode makes killing things a lot faster. And since we're in a level that killing things is important, you want to kill things as fast as you can. Do that, kill them, and then we're going to head out to our last major fight before the boss. Drop both of those guys, and then we're going to enter this fight. So with this fight, since we're in perfect mode, we can just go like this and kill a lot of enemies. And then get into perfect, or attempt to get into perfect mode, and not necessarily succeed at it, especially when you get knocked in. Oh, that was a miss. Okay. So, we finished off this segment, and now we're going to go into the Lurtz fight. The Lurtz fight has a really cool but really difficult strat. So, with this first phase of the Lurtz fight, we're just going to shoot him 4 times and advance to the second phase where the really tough strat comes in, that when we get to it, once again, Slade is going to be explaining. So that's the end of the first phase. Take it away, Slade.
Alright, so what's going to happen here is he's going to position himself by this statue. And kind of position himself behind it a little bit, to the point where the Uruk-hai will swing at him and get his sword stuck at the statue. Hopefully that's the plan. So just like you saw here. Now he's going to use Isildur Swift Terror, and then immediately use a Range of Fury, and that insta-kills him. And making this fight pretty short.
And yeah, getting that Ranger Fury timing is near frame perfect. It's got an extremely precise timing point, and trying to get it is really tough. Shoutouts to 7SwagMuffin7, who is the second place runner for this game. He actually discovered that strat and made it, just overall, that saved a lot of time in the run, because it just made the fight significantly faster.
They came this way.
It also made it a lot more difficult, which made it more of a reason for me to hate the level, but it's fine. So now we're on to Fangorn Forest. Fangorn Forest is probably my favorite level in the run, oddly enough, because it's another really difficult one, but we are going to be fighting more trolls. We fight a total of, I think, 4 trolls in this level. And we're going to be fighting them. Well, we have our first one coming up here, but first we got to go through this sort of small little mob fight, and then we have a Berserker Uruk-hai here that's going to spawn. What? That's never happened before. And hey, 7SwagMuffin7's in chat. Shoutouts to you, my dude. So yeah, Berserkers, apparently that guy absorbed the Range of Fury, which luckily I was able to adapt. Because, I don't know, normally they die to a Range of Fury. And also, too, if I didn't adapt, it would have been kind of scary, because Berserkers can be really annoying. They can knock you down a lot, and they attack really fast. Arguably, they are harder to kill than trolls. And so, it's really important. I was really lucky that, even though my Ranger Fury went straight through his body, that I was able to still knock him down and get a quick kill. So, coming up, we've got a really cool moment of movement. So there's these, there's this river here, and if we get too deep into the river, we'll do kind of this little wading animation, but when I do that wading animation, I'm going to click the control stick backward, opposite the direction I was going, and then I press C to jump back. That we will be going, by doing that, we go faster than by just wading through the water. That was a pretty early on mechanic discovered before I started running. I actually discovered while running Legolas, because his jump back animation is extraordinarily slow, that by running on the left side of the river, you actually are able to negate the waiting animation primarily. Another Berserker there, that's why we Ranger Fury, because Ranger Fury is a super busted ability if you can use it properly. So, by running on the left side of the river, we can negate the waiting, whereas before it was a lot more precise movement of running, of waiting, or doing the jump back, which was a lot more precise and a lot harder. So I'm really happy that I was able to find that, because it makes that easier for every single character and faster. So this is a required fight. There we go. That's the end of them. And we wouldn't have been able to destroy that log until we killed all the goblins. Confirmed good game. Cave behind waterfall. I appreciate that. So we got 2 trolls to fight now instead of just 1. And these trolls, even though there's 2 of them, they're also beefier. Normally it would take 2 Ranger Furies to kill the trolls. But this time it takes 3. So, thanks EA. But that's the end of Fangorn Forest. Super quick. Really happy with the way that Fangorn Forest went, actually.
There's something out there. What do you
Pretty well done. Gotta redeem some channel points quick while I'm in a cutscene. It's very important. So we were able to hit our level 6 threshold, which is also really good, because that will give us our next sort of like power spike that we get, because we will be unlocking our first upgraded form of Ranger Fury called Wilderness Rage, and then we'll also be getting Master Swordsman, which increases the damage of our speed attacks, which is the primary form of attack that we use. So now we have this level Plains of Rohan. Another super difficult level. I'll kind of explain the gimmick to it as we get more into it. But, in short, it kind of can come down to janky RNG. I'm probably going to play it a little safer and take a couple extra small fights just to... Or I won't play it. We'll see how I'm feeling when I get to it, / if my muscle memory actually lets me play it safer. So while I'm doing this fight, you will see up in the top right corner, there is this meter of villagers. If that meter drains all the way, I fail the level.
You must press on.
Also, please Gandalf, give me good RNG. That was decent. And then we have a little bit of time before a required cutscene, so we just go here. Grab that EXP to hit level 7, and while this cutscene is playing, it will force teleport us, so we don't actually need to worry about moving back into the right position. I think I'm going to go for it because I'm a risky person. Carry that guy. So yeah, by not taking those fights, those villagers can be kind of exposed, so I gotta move quickly. So we kill this Berserker here. Break that barrel for that old guy to go through. Only kill that archer. We're going to leave that guy because he's not important. We call him Jermaine. We don't like Jermaine. And then we're going to break that little bar. Oh! I should have parried. I didn't think to parry. But it's fine. I thought I could make it. But we run past here. Kill this guy. Come over here into this required fight. Cool, we got perfect mode, which is what we want, because perfect mode lets us do this. That is if I, don't get knocked down. And we're gonna focus killing this Berserker here. Oh, uh-oh, the meter's draining. Monka S, please let me... Okay, Berserker's dead, I need to get going to the next fight. Okay, cool. Alright. Nice. So, we've made it now to the last fight in this level. They're gonna throw this unfortunate older couple into a building where they're gonna be burning alive. And this other meter is gonna show up underneath their villager meter. And if that meter drains all the way, no matter what your villager meter is at, you will fail the level. And anytime you fail a level, whether it be through failing a certain objective or dying, that's not good. Yeah, you have to restart the level, so you lose multiple minutes. Why is my meter draining? It shouldn't be draining at this point. Okay, it stopped. That's fine. I got 9 from the surface. So we killed all the enemies. Wilderness Rage to bust these guys open. And we should be out of here. Cool. Sigh of relief. We're fine.
Little game history here. This level you're playing at isn't in the actual movie itself.
Nope, it is not. This was added as sort of a way to give extra content. Alright, so we've hit level 8, and we are going to get our last 3 abilities that we need in the run, because we hit our EXP thresholds that we need super early. We got a Sealdore's Judgment back, we got a fully upgraded Ranger Fury with Wrath of Numenor, and we have our fully upgraded bow, Gondor Bow. So we won't need to do any more menuing throughout the run, which is really nice. And so now we're in this level, Westfold, another level that was added for content and not actually originally in the movies. And so what we're going to be doing is there are these explosive devices, and when we blow up Uruk-hai, or enemies, I guess, because there's a mixture of orcs and Uruk-hai, with the explosive devices versus just killing them, the game doesn't give us EXP. Which, normally you would think this is an RPG run, wouldn't you, want EXP? Well, as you've noticed, at the end of every single level, the game tallies up our kills. And the more kills we have in a run, the slower that kill tally screen is. And so, by killing as little enemies as possible, we can speed up that screen. Block that jump attack. Use a Wilderness Rage there to only get 1 kill and give us iframes, because when we are in our Ranger Fury animations, we cannot be hit. So with those sappers who blow up and would do normally a lot of damage, we can negate all of that damage by using our... Where are we going? That is not where I was holding my control stick, Aragorn, but it's fine. This guy's committed to the chase. And some weird enemies spawn, so we gotta use different pathing here. Blow that up to kill enemies. Grab the safety health. As you can see, abusing every little thing that we can to go as fast as possible, because we're speedrunners. So we're almost finished with this level, so what we gotta do with this one is we are just going to, it's another segment where we're going to be abusing the jump back. That guy gave me a little pat on the back before he sent me off. This segment can be kind of difficult. So we're going to jump back here into hugging the right side again. Doing that. Oh, that's actually extremely good RNG. Wow! That killed those guys, letting me go right there to blow that up and end the level. Fun fact, if I were to run up and swing at those carts with explosive powder with my sword, it would do 0 damage because it's the end level trigger.
Those few of us able to fight, march for Helm's Deep. They're the future of Rohan.
So yeah, that ends Westfold. We now have 4 levels left in the game. And you're probably wondering, how do we have 4 levels left in the game but an hour and 10-minute estimate? Is it because those levels are stupidly hard? Well, yes, but they're also long. Because we have 1 level that's super short. Our next level is the shortest level in the game. But then we also have, I'm actually going to come over here and pick up a quick safety health since I have the EXP because of Marathon. So yeah, they are really difficult, but they're also really long. So first off, we have 2 fights that's going to happen in this level. This level is around 1.5 minutes long. I think the only level... Actually, no, this isn't the shortest level. The shortest level is Weathertop, which was the 2nd level where we fought all the ring raids. So the warriors are going to come by, we Wrath of Numenor, they're dead. Pretty simple. And now we have the boss fight. They're separating us from our friends, the beautiful Legolas and the slightly less beautiful but still beautiful Gimli. And now we gotta fight Sharku. which if you guys don't know who Sharku is, in the Two Towers movie, he is the leader of the warg attack that it sent Aragorn off the cliff. I don't know how that didn't do damage to me, because that was a very mistimed parry, but I will take it. So Sharku here is going to charge 3 times. I'm going to hit him with a speed attack, run around to the side, and use a Wrath of Numenor to finish him off. And it's going to be an extremely quick fight. And there's a really funny story with this strat. So, this strat's super old, but like, it's stopped being optimized until like a year ago, I think. And so shoutouts to Red Stalker. He was the first person to run this game. And then when 7 Swagmuffin 7 and I started making a huge push for world record, he was like, you guys do realize that there is this strat that you were not doing that I was doing when I got my 57. And I was like, oh, is it really that easy? And I went and tested it, and sure enough, it was that easy. And so now, we have the wonderful 8.5-minute auto-scroller of running around and kicking down ladders. This is the biggest negative point of the run, just because you have to run around and kick down ladders for 8.5 minutes. Well, 8 minutes, but then it's a 30-second long cutscene-ish. And we want to avoid getting as many kills as possible. Because, again, the kill tally screen at the end of the level, just, we want that to go really fast, and by killing a lot of enemies, it doesn't go fast. And because we're speedrunners, we like to go fast.
Scenic.
No, we're not Sanic. Sanic is a different one. We're Aragorn.
Oh, gotcha.
I won't say much more swaggy, because Sanic is also very swaggy. So a big question that usually comes around for this game is, why do we run it on GameCube? And that glitch, not really, it's kind of a glitch, kind of not, where we loaded into the already completed file, and that allowed us to skip cutscenes. As far as we know, I don't think it's been tested on the original Xbox copy, but that is only, you can only do that on the GameCube copy. So you can't do it on PS2, and so PS2 is not recommended for running Aragorn, Legolas, or Gimli. However, we have the Isildur category. The Isildur category is run from an already completed file anyways. It's one that you've gone through and you've beaten every single level. Like, you load a completed file and that's how the run works. Because you cannot play as Isildur until you have completed Tower of Orthanc, which is another mountain that I won't worry about climbing right now. But basically, how, when we created the Isildur category of mine, I realized that was a run that, because of how little loading screens there are in this game, you could theoretically get a really competitive time on any console. All you need is a copy of the game and a completed file. And also, this game can be run on emulator. As far as we know, emulator load times aren't that inaccurate. I might be wrong. I do have a couple of PBs run on an emulator. I might check those over just to see. But, so, yeah, if you guys want to get into this game, it's really easy to get into. I only have 2 more levels that I need to finish for the tutorial, for the Aragorn tutorial, but there is a guide on what you need to do for upgrades. There is also, for the Aragorn run, help with menuing. There is also a written guide that I have done for the Legolas run that includes all of the strats and upgrades that you would get, just to make that run super, like, pretty beginner friendly. And so, yeah, there's also a Lord of the Rings speedrunning Discord where you can connect with all of the runners throughout the Lord of the Rings community. I think we just recently got up to about 100 members, so I'm really happy with that. I know it seems really small in comparison to some bigger games, but it's a really small game. And so as much as we can increase the presence of having people on our Discord, the happier I will be. I know that's for sure. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy us running around and kicking down ladders. Slade, do you have anything interesting to say?
No, not really.
No? What the heck? Why do I even bring you forward?
I don't know, man.
Ow. I apparently can't kick this ladder
Come
down.
on, come on, just keep the ladder.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
There you go. That's how you keep the ladder.
So, yeah, the way that this level works, in case you guys are curious, is up in the top right corner you'll see where the red dots are, is where the ladders are. Underneath those red dots is a meter. That meter has 3 colors, blue, yellow, red. If it gets into red, there's also a blinking red, but it should not see any blinking red. If it does, I will cry. I don't actually know if I will cry. I don't really cry, I'm heartless. Yep. But anyways, if that meter fills up, it means that the wall has been overran by orcs, and we lose. And we don't want to lose. But the nice thing is our elves and the Legolas and Gimli who are around on the wall will kill enemies, and we won't get EXP for it. Oh, what the heck!
You could kill.
I've taken 3, which means we're going to lose about a second.
That's not good.
Don't. Yeah, that's right. Don't do it. Oh boy, we're in red. Gonna continue to watch that. I'm also gonna grab another safe. Actually, I'm gonna wait and grab that safety help. We need to get killed. We'll see how these arrows do. Sometimes the arrows can kill a big chunk of enemies. Ow. Grab that. There we go. So yeah, they're shooting on us with arrows, but, you know, as long as you... Again, they'll kill each other. They don't really care. So I also want to take this moment to just say, Peter Jackson, I know you're not watching, but I hope you know I'm able to do more in an hour than you were able to do in 2 movies. Granted, it's not as impressive as the Hobbit speedrun, because we can do more in a half an hour than Peter Jackson could do in 3 movies. Back off. So yeah, the catapults, they're super scary. They can 2-shot you, especially because my health is as low as it is, because I only bought 2 health upgrades. The catapults can 2-shot me, and I've used up a decent chunk. I think I only have 1 more safety health. But the good news is this long auto scroller is almost over. Maybe. I love Peter Jackson, so it's
I'm
a minor
confused
bit.
right now.
I'm also kind of stealing that joke from Author Blues, because he did it during the Hobbit GDQ run from SGDQ 2018, I think. It's either SGDQ 2018 or 2018. Author Blues made that same joke about the Hobbit run. Oh, nice! Yeah, sometimes catapults are duds. In case you were curious, sometimes if you throw a flaming rock at a stone wall, it won't do anything. So, we're done! I apologize for how long that is, but that is just an unfortunate part of the way that this run works. Is it's one really long level.
They're falling back. It is over for now.
I got 19.
Then we are level.
We'll see about that.
So we're done. Again, no menuing to do. Yeah, we lost a second because we got 3 excellence, but we're just proving our excellence. So now we're going into Helm's Deep Breached Wall. And while this level might seem like an auto-scroller, it very much is not. It's another decently long level of killing enemies. And it's really difficult because we need to kill enemies quickly. And if we don't kill enemies quickly, we can lose a lot of time. This is typically the level where runs go to die. Which sucks. Because it's the second to last level in the run. But the strategy that I came up with, I'm actually not in the right spot, is I set myself right here, and as the sappers run through, I use my Wrath of Numenor to blow up Mordecai. And you'll kind of see them run through and just get blown up, so they're running straight to their death. And obviously, when you have about a couple thousand orcs charging at you through this gap in the wall, what is the logical thing to do? Rush them head on and hold up a flaming sword. Because logic. It's a really good idea to do that. But again, abusing the iframes that we get. If this did not have iframes at this point, okay, look, shield guys. Oh no. See, this is where things get rough, because enemies can and will get past us. And, okay, so... I don't know. Chat. I'm scared of chat. Oh no, they're all dead. Interesting. That sucks, because now I'm way back here. But we're able to get into perfect mode again. Start killing more. Ammo. Okay, we're good. Well, maybe not. Still one right. So yeah, we want to try and kill enemies quickly. Any of them that get past us, it's bad. So one thing to note is sometimes I use charge shots and sometimes I use quick shots. Quick shots, as you can see, shoot faster, but charge shots would do more damage. More often than not, a charge shot will kill all enemies. You guys are over here. Wow, okay, I really failed at my job. That's also why I don't recommend swinging at sappers. But there's only one of them, a lot of ranks, so we were mostly... Okay. I also made the opt to not run with my splits at all, because I didn't want to focus on how I was doing, other than I know that I'm currently underestimate. I know I'm behind, which is kind of what I expected. So about 2 months ago, so we kind of give a little bit of an idea of how much time I put into this run. So last year, if you guys watched Pace 2019, I ran Spider-Man 2000. 80% no skips. And I set the world record on stage. At that time, that was a significantly less optimized category. I'm not the only runner. I actually wasn't even the only runner when I did the run. But I was easily the most active with the most experience in that category, or just with the game in general. What happened, that now is a run that I have not been able to beat that time. It is currently, the current world record on the leaderboard. So if you want to beat it, go for it. You might give me a reason to come back. But this game I've been running for 2 years now, I'm pretty sure. Almost 3. I started running it near the end of 2017. And it's been one of my speed babies. I call it my speed baby because it is the only game that I have full control of the leaderboard in. And it was also a game that I fought hard for full control of the leaderboard. 7 Swag Muffin 7, the other runner who I mentioned previously, is an amazing runner of this game, and we have gone back and forth on the world record for this game since 2018. Both of us just too stubborn to give up, but specifically this category has been the most competitive. But with that, like, so at about end of 2018, I had a 54:32. World record was 52:56 by 7 Swag Muffin 7. And we decided, I was really bored one day and was like, hey, you want to race? And he was like, sure. And we raced, and not only did I win the race, I was expecting to lose. But not only did I win the race, but I broke the world record. And that was when our rivalry began. And again, for another year, we've been bopping each other back and forth, back and forth, back. Oh, I should probably explain what's happening here now. So yeah, there's this catapult. We're going to be using Isildur's Judgment to get into perfect mode, theoretically. I say theoretically because we're avoiding as many enemies as we possibly can. Ow. Oh, I thought there was a fire pit being thrown. I was about to get real sad. But we're going to be using Wrath of Numenor here on the catapult. Ah! Okay, cool. Ouch. But so anyways, since this is literally all we have to do, it's really simple, but it can be really difficult. If we're able to get into perfect mode, then we're able to blow things up really quickly. But we weren't able to get into perfect mode. But we finished this level, and now we only have one level left in the run. So anyway, we were and that was when our rivalry began, with me getting a 52:30, and then we start less than 24 hours later. I think he got a 52:15, and we've just been going back and forth. And honestly, I have to give huge shoutouts to 7 Swag Muffin 7 because 2 months ago, I was able to get the first sub 50 time with a 49:54, which is still the most current world record. And that time would not have happened if it wasn't for 7 Swag Muffin 7 pushing me in this game competitively. So yeah, huge shoutouts to you, Swag Muffin. This run wouldn't be what it is if I didn't have a drive to beat you.
Okay, he's just got drive to beat you now.
I would certainly hope so. So we're on Hornburg Courtyard, the last level of the game. We have this gate that we have to protect, and we protect it by killing enemies. Again, you would think it's an auto-scroller because all you're supposed to do is kill enemies. But again, it very much is not. I would think that it would be, but it's not. And I'm really thankful for that because it adds a lot more of a technical aspect to it. Which, when I say a lot more, I mean we're going to be spamming Isildur's Judgment. Because we'll get into perfect mode and we can run through and kill a lot of enemies really quickly using perfect mode. There might, at least for this first phase, where there's going to be a lot of shield guys, it's going to be easier to use Isildur's Judgment. The game will split into phases here. We'll kind of see how each of the phases work. Once we actually, any minute now, we will get into our next phase. These are the levels, so these, okay, cool. This is the beginning of the next phase, because now we're going to actually get Urukai, because Legolas is in danger, and we need to go help him. It adds variety to the level. I think we just clipped through a guy there. I don't actually know. Kind of hard to tell. That guy ran real speedy. Okay, these are decent positions, except my position was bad. But it's fine. So we did that. So this level is split into multiple phases, which is just different enemies will be spawning at different points. I delayed walking through there so I didn't get booty blasted by a catapult. What was I talking about again? I don't remember. But anyway, okay, yeah, the way this level works, that's what it was. And so in this phase now, there's going to be more Urukai. which is going to allow me to just use Judgment to get into perfect mode. Ow. This is a goblin. I swear I'm not just swinging at nothing. Ow. But getting into perfect mode now that there's Urukai, we can then use our bow to kill enemies a lot faster, except for when there's one miscellaneous shield guy that likes to get it. So we get ourselves into perfect mode here. Also, I'm going to be kind of quiet now because I actually need to look for listening for a specific audio cue to help me know when I need to go do the next thing that helps get through the level. Cool, we got that real fast. So he said archers on the wall. That actually means archers on the wall. And we gotta kill these archers and deal with these annoying people. So Gimli said Aragorn, that means we're good to go. Ow!
Right in the face of it.
Yeah, and so now Berserkers are spawned, which makes this level a lot scarier because we can be stuck on the ground for a while. But we should be coming up near the end here soon. Okay, we just got to keep killing enemies. Okay, cool. So these two trolls are gonna come by, we're gonna Wrath of Numenor them, and that's gonna be the end of the run. So time comes up here in just a wee bit. No, don't do it, Berserker. Oh, that troll's way over there. What the heck? Cool. And time. 50:36 in a marathon. That's really good.
I was kind of hoping you would hit sub 50.
Oh, if I would have gotten no, I would have been real shook if I got a sub 50.
Hey, 36 seconds.
I mean, yes, I was 36 seconds, but still. That's a really, really good marathon time. I'm really happy with that. So a couple shoutouts. Thanks to Slade for being here to explain some of the harder stuff. That helps me a lot so I can focus on gameplay. We hit all of the major strats in the run, and that's really all what I care about, is hitting all the most difficult stuff and not having to use any backups, other than the fact that I didn't have the 2000 HP, which was interesting that I didn't do that. I've never done that before. But I'm really glad that I did. And I did manage to get those. So, again, I'm really happy with that time. Other shoutouts, obviously shoutouts to 7swag117. I've shouted him out a lot, but I'm going to keep shouting him out because he's my anime rival, and I love him dearly, and I want him to bot me so I can go for a 48 because I had a practice run that was almost a 48. But as of right now, I don't want to grind for it. So bot me so we race to 48. Just so you know, Swag Muffin. Other shoutouts. Shoutouts to GSA, obviously. GSA and CLG for having this event. I love GSA. I love Case. I love being able to do Celeste commentary, and I love being able to show off my little obscure speed games that I do for you guys, all for great causes. Shoutouts to Midwest Speed Fest, my homeboys back at home. Yeah. In Minnesota, we hold local marathons, and that's where I get a lot of my starting for speedrunning. So shoutouts to them. Shoutouts to Rogue Nation, obviously, my team. Really appreciate them, specifically my my one and only other speedrunning teammate as far as I know, and that's TGH. I love you, TG. You, when I met you at PACE 2019, actually, that really meant a lot to me because you were super encouraging and everything that I needed to not feel like a tiny boy at Big Boy Marathons. So, shoutouts to you, TGH. And I think that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much again for watching this run, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of PACE. Continue to donate to support COVID relief, because that is super important and super, like, it's obviously it's important, it's huge, it's relevant. So donate for that and support GSA in what they do, because speedrunning is awesome and we want to see it grow. So thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of the marathon.